And on three, two, one, yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. Hi, everybody. This is Beauty Bubble. We've got something brand new, right? I'm always coming up with ideas, and they come from being inspired by others. And so we've done open mic before. Most of the time when we've done panel discussions, individuals get the link, but we are trying something brand new called the Bitcoin Secret Santa. We're going to go through like an entire kind of crowdsource as to how this should be set up, what are the ideas around, how it could work. And it would be just Bitcoin to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to Bitcoin, transaction to transaction, wallet to wallet, just like that. And it means that we have to, collect the people that are interested in participating and then making certain rules. So it's kind of like a little bit of, snowfall for Bitcoiners, and all under kind of the Secret Santa, the brilliance of Dan McComas, who created the Secret Santa for Reddit. And if you've never read his story, you really have to read it. I'll probably share it. I've shared it with many people before. The New York Times did a wonderful piece on him. And he really is, he's also done a TED Talk. And there's something about giving and receiving that just does a lot of things for the soul. It does a lot of things to kind of clarify. And, if you're a taker and you think that you're even a giver, but you're just a taker, and all those things, all those very curious psychopop stuff that can come out of what it's like to be involved in giving, right? Make money to do good, and the giving part of your life. And also knowing how to graciously receive and not deflect receiving, and that all of it. So it's going to be really cool, I think. So in just a moment, I'm going to be opening up the link, and let me grab, I hope the way that I can do this, because we fixated on the image, is that when I come over to YouTube, let me make sure that we're live, and we are. And then I'll grab a copy, because I take a copy of when we go live, just to see how it looks. And so that's where that click comes in, if you ever hear it on the replay. And we'll grab the link, and we will say welcome to the chat. And the link, this is where I need to figure out, where am I going to send the link out to? Is it going to be out on Twitter? Is it going to be just here inside of the chat? And then if you happen to find, the link over here, that's really the better way of coming in. And there's just a few things that you really need to have. You need to have earbuds in. That's a must. And, be open to giving some of your good advice on how you would put together a Bitcoin Secret Santa. What are your thoughts about it? And, and we just start kind of building up what it means and go through the same things that anyone that has had to kind of coordinate a giving outreach like this. And so, we're just going to give it a try. The open mic as well, if you saw my Twitter, is really too about just popping in and saying hello if you want to, and, lifting up your voice and letting us know what your secret wishes are. And I think that even that can just be kind of fun and just have some fun. I mean, the trade's at 99.7802. A few of us have been up for literally weeks now, nursing and watching and making sure that we were made part of that $10,000 candle. Where do we get ourselves fixed? How do we how do we manage being involved in where one single coin is now valued at $10,000, and what that all means, and being, once again, it's a revelation of clarity, and or it can be catastrophic to your personality. Your ego can get away with you, and all those kinds of things that can happen. And so we will probably rework a little bit of the Nightbot as we do this. So I think the first thing that I'll do is I'll put the link to the chat. Make sure that you have earbuds. Put a link to the chat, or what's called the panel, inside of our live chat. And if you want to come in, just come on in. And then we'll give it a, maybe at the 15-minute mark, we will throw it over to Twitter and see what happens over to Twitter. But you can just come in for just a moment. Don't have to be on camera. And it's really not going to be too invasive. We're just looking for a little bit of information about, if you were to put together Secret Santa for Bitcoiners, what would that look like? What would it entail? How would you, put it all together? And we will start building a Google Doc. And in that Google Doc, we'll make that Google Doc available too for open edits and that kind of thing too. And let's see how far we can go with it. So it's really just kind of a little bit of a respite from the other kind of hard work, and just kind of, have some fun without making fun or being made fun of. Just have some fun and relax a little bit as we come into the last month of 2017. So anyway, that's where we're at. If you want to check in with chat with me, please do that. I was surprised actually to see, I think the numbers were, even though at any given time there were, I think maybe we had 3 people in the chat, but as it turned out, 31 people came through the stream. So thank you very much, because the replay viewers are, even if YouTube isn't letting me know the actual real-time counts, that you do get counted towards the 10,000 lifetime viewers. It's a little bit of a challenge that I'm going through with YouTube, because YouTube doesn't really recognize the work, because we're just so far down in the ecosystem with viewers, viewer counts, subscriber counts, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to see if I can try and improve that, or figure out how does one, SEO out of it, or I don't know. I've tried a lot of different things. I know that I have a great basket of hashtags that's working really well. The metric over at Twitter has improved as far as impressions are concerned. So I know that there's a piece of this that's working, but YouTube has become such a beast to try and figure out. And I really think that I did some stops and starts that I should not have. I shouldn't have conceded, and I should have just understood, or been, I don't know, proud enough, or more insistent, that this is my house. This is what I do. And taking my edge off to benefit you. And then, of course, I'm still out there supporting and promoting you. There's something a little not good about that. And so now I kind of understand a little bit better about how to hold on to what you own on these platforms. And, you just keep going. So I was surprised, as anybody would be, that YouTube would change its metric and require now that you have 10,000 lifetime viewers. And just really to even have that golden globe, let alone for the globe to go green. So I want to just get my golden globe back on my account. A lot of people lost it too. We were all monetized, and then we lost our monetization, and it kind of slowly trickled out. And it's not like I was producing material or content that was inappropriate. It's just that my account, and I'm sure thousands of other accounts, just got caught in the metric of not having the 10,000 lifetime views. And so, that golden globe went to gray. And that's where I'm at right now. And I just want it to go back to golden so that I can, work my way back up to the stand. I'm sure there'll be new standards of how to get that globe to go green. And just so that you know, when you're on YouTube and you do get monetization, just the straight away monetization with an account my size, you can go live for 2 cents. And that doesn't matter if you're live for 30 minutes, an hour, or you do an outreach that goes on for 8 hours. And you get literally 2 cents. So it's not about the money, it's about the ization, the realization that you're in their system, you're made part of the bigger YouTube family. So we're working really hard at making sure that we do all those things. Okay, so let's get the Nightbot going. And normally this would work for when we're showcasing the chart, which we're not doing tonight. And so we just want to make sure that the bot is running. And we have a few things that are auto-delivered with commands. And I've been doing this every time because the Nightbot is kind of glitchy. And we'll just see whether or not it's going to come out. And then I'll do the same thing for the Secret Santa, the Bitcoin Secret Santa. We'll do the same sort of thing with the Nightbot. Okay? Alrighty. So that's that. So let's see if we're going to be brave enough in 4 minutes to send that link out. I don't know what I should do. I don't know if we should send it over to Twitter. What do you guys think? Most people, what you'll hear is they'll say, I'll send you the link, and it goes to, it goes to a private account. But I did say that we were bringing back the open mic with beauty, your voice, your topic, your time to shine. As the holidays approach, you can say hello to loved ones or tell the YouTube Santa your greatest wish, or to be counted toward this 10,000 lifetime viewer challenge. Panel link will be in the reply. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I said that I would do, and we'll reply. And let me grab the link. And the link is going to be here up at the top. And Chewbacca's, just if you can, kind of mind your own business. Unless you have something to say to Santa Claus. And so let's see here. Bitcoin Secret Santa beta is now open to panelists. Stop on by. All right. And then there's another part of this that we need, I think. And that's to go. Well, we'll just try it. Okay. All right, the link is out. The link is out. Okay. There we go. And we will see what happens. So that's a traditional Hangout link that just went out. And there we go. Let's see what happens. Not expecting a whole lot, but so the panel link went out. They're going to come in. I think I should probably put my mic up just a little teeny bit. And then we'll go ahead and do a share. And here, and we'll do the parentheses, Secret Santa beta. And we will do all of that. Go there. And see what happens. All right. There we go. It's gone out. Let me grab the Twitter. And see how it looks. Open mic, Bitcoin Secret Santa, panels open to the public, be nice. There's the Hangout link, there's the YouTube. That looks pretty good. Do a copy to the tweet so you guys have it in the chat. And there you go. That is the tweet that went out with the panel link. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's talk about building, what it's like to build the Secret Santa up. So Dan McComas, I always want to make sure that I'm spelling his name right, Secret Santa. He's with another company now. And what you want to do is you want to watch his TED Talk. It's amazing. It's only a 15-minute talk, but it's so good, and you'll really learn quite a bit about the giving tree, the idea of giving. And I think you'll just enjoy it. And the TED Talk is around. He may have even done a couple of others, but let me give you the one talk that he did. So this is Dan's TED Talk, and maybe from watching this, we can sort of kind of build another version. And then he was on, he got featured in the New York Times. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, oh, about the IMSI as a kinder, gentler Reddit. Now, he's been in the blogs for the New York Times, but this is when he started IMSI, which was shuttered, unfortunately. But you can get an idea of kind of how he thinks through this article. This is more about IMSI, but it gives the background about who he is. So that's a really cool article there. So there's the TED Talk. So we can get information from there, and then just some sort of, idea. Reddit will have maybe some historical reference, but the concept here is that it's Bitcoiner to Bitcoiner. So we're creating our own Secret Santa using Bitcoin. And so there's no physical addresses, there's no physical gifts, there's no sharing of that. And then we can put it through a randomizer, or, if your name and address is on there. And then we come up with what we can figure out as kind of, the dust that would be reasonable or suggested or what have you, just to get the Bitcoin Secret Santa. And I don't even know if it will be called the Bitcoin Secret Santa. I have no idea. But it's just a start, and just kind of keep talking about it and see whether or not that there's some interest in having this kind of sharing. And through that, there might be transactions of sharing that are not based on one particular thing. It's just the transaction of sharing and being made part of Bitcoin, and actually having your transactions known and acknowledged acknowledged on the blockchain. Because in the future, this might be something, well, it's historical. And the moment in history is historical. Because, December 2017 may be the last of an era. And it might be just kind of fun to see something like this actually be the apex of an era of Bitcoin. That, in my opinion, I think we're at a crossroads. And I can't articulate exactly why I think that, and I don't want to get into any kind of an argument about what it is, but there is certainly personality conflict. There's vision conflict. There's social conflict. And when I see these kinds of things, only those with power, let's say, even if it's just contrived, those with power end up going into the next era. And they kind of, they bleed into, they kind of seep their ethos and their pathology kind of, goes into the next generation because that's all that the next generation really knows. So, yes, I put cautionary tales out there. Yes, I don't like, I love a great argument. But to be told after all of these years that I need to be quiet and keep my drama to myself, when basically I have never seen grown men be the drama queens that they really are. Never. And so it's not just about, being dramatic or drawing attention but there's a lot of things that are messed up, and it's not just about being on the internet. It's one of my rules, as a matter of fact. I'll post them in the chat this evening. We're as traders, we use the internet. We are not on the internet to be used by internet trolls. That is not the arrangement. That is not the compensation. For that they're compensated somehow for me coming onto the internet, and they get to be compensated, and they are. I can give you a list of 25 internet trolls, confirmed internet trolls that are compensated for being in the cryptocurrency space. And it's just yes, I want to stand in front of the bus, and I truly I really don't care anymore what the opinion might be. The trade is at $10,000 right now, okay? I know more about what's going on with this trade at $10,000, and I respect myself for knowing that, and that's really all that I need. I don't need your validation. We're talking about like, people, right? When we talk about being validated by YouTube, this is something different. Not talking about making sure that I'm seen, when I'm on the internet. But we're talking about individuals that, that want to shun and shame and all of that. There are some people too that they have a machine that's big enough to, take your .com and turn it into something else that was never meant to be, and make it something else it was never meant to be. So for those kinds of things, yeah, I'm going to stand up for myself. I always have. And I'm not immune from being called the B word, but for me, B means Bitcoin. I don't know what it means for you, but that's what it means for me. And so, oh man. All right. So we'll go back to the Hangout, and we'll see. And you can see that for the most part, I'm going to tell you, people are they're afraid. They are afraid. I don't know if they're really afraid or not, but you know what I mean. Okay. So we kind of just let this go and try and figure out what some of these rules should be. Number one, we need to have a randomizer for the addresses And we also need to have it be where you can suggest an address. Doesn't have to be your own. It could be a suggested address. That's one thing that we can do. We can also do like a some sort of a treasure hunt of where the addresses might be hidden. I know that I don't know if it's Cointelegraph. I think it's Cointelegraph who was doing like a scavenger hunt of some sort with their articles, and if you could collect all of the little secret clues, then your name would be put in a like a lottery system. But that isn't this at all. This is just um, having a list of addresses, and there's the spirit of giving to those addresses and going through the workings of giving. And so, whether you are putting an address forward that's for a colleague or a friend or someone that's in need, or uh, someone that's providing a service that you feel would benefit from receiving, just a little bit of dust in Bitcoin, then we make that part of the Bitcoin Secret Santa. And I do think that it's possible, if we can put kind of the rules around it and a little bit better, that we can create something that's really kind of fun and do it for the month of December. And I just think that it would be really great. In the day, I started something called the Trader's Table because there used to be some really cool ways that you could deliver. Um, I think it was called the tip jar. I believe it was called the tip jar. And a lot of those, um, I don't know, a lot of those companies have kind of just gone away. So I know that we did something called the Trader's Table when Sandy came along, and I was very happy to be made part of that. I thought it was a brilliant way to raise money for traders that had been affected by Hurricane Sandy. When Sandy came through, it devastated a certain part of the New York coast. And as it would turn out, there are a lot of traders that house their offices along that part of the area of New York and New Jersey. And they were literally wiped out, both figuratively and literally. They lost everything, every cord, every cell phone, every computer, of course, every tower in those days. This is kind of, right there on the cusp of having, really powerful laptops that can manage your trading accounts. And I'm very proud of the fact that we put it out there that that's what we were doing, and we were able to do good with the Traders Table. And I've never forgotten about that. There were lots of questions about why would I want to do that, or why would traders need air quote my help. And as we now know, Mother Nature doesn't pick and choose your vocation. And it just seemed fitting that the people that I hang around with would open themselves to being helped. It's not common in our profession to need help. And so when Mother Nature comes through and takes everything that you know and takes your occupation, your way of living, your income, you don't know for how long, you're displaced, you have to move your family elsewhere and then you have to rebuild, and all of these things. And we were just trying to uh, put together enough so that they could have a dry workspace. Just it didn't matter what it was, whether it was a cord or it didn't matter. And what's really crazy about that outreach, the Traders Table, is that none of the traders came forward with their need. However, there was enough money raised that an entire little village on the East Coast, a little parish, as they would be called, or a township, the money was donated to their fire department, and then the fire department had certain ways of distributing food and clothes and those kinds of things. So anyone that was coming into the firehouse was helped. So, but I found that fascinating. We wanted to help the trader, but the trader did not want to receive. And so I think that that's another thing to talk about, especially with so many things having hit all of us. All vocations have been hurt. The tourist industry has been hurt. The hoteliers, the restaurant industry, let alone the financial districts and traders as a profession. So I just think it's a good time to learn about how to do this in the right way, or at least one way that is successful. So anyway, that's what we're going to try and do with Bitcoin Secret Santa. And as I said, I'm not too sure that that's what it's going to be called. I don't know, but I am putting the word out. And we are opening up the link, the Hangout link. I put it in the chat, and it will also be sent out to on Twitter. So it's out there on Twitter too. There's two pieces of media that you want to definitely check out, and that's Dan McComas's TED Talk. He was the founder of the Reddit Secret Santa, and then he did a follow-up business after having left Reddit, and he built a business called Imzy, and that was really fascinating too. It was kind of a Steam precursor in a way, Imzy, and now he's with Rooster Teeth, which is another company, but I've put inside of the chat his New York Times interview, which kind of showcases who he is as a human being. Is really fascinating guy. And if there's one person that I would like to follow in his footsteps of how did he even come up, how did he do it? I know that he had it in his heart to do, and that's one thing. But I mean, how do you actually make it? And as it turned out, the Secret Santa Reddit was one of the most successful campaigns, social campaigns that anyone in the social, air quotes, social medium had seen ever. Very, very successful outreach. So there's a lot to be learned about that. And I think it's time for the Bitcoin community to get their act together and start doing these sorts of things. And I do know that there is a outreach called Pink Coin. And that also has had, I don't know, this is why Dan is so important to this sort of thing. There's something about him that works, and I'm not too sure, and I've watched a few of the Pink Coin interviews. I'm just not too sure that they have found that right gorgeous mix of believability. And it might just be because Bitcoiners are just so annoying sometimes. They need to be right with what they're so wrong about. I don't know, and it's not just the anarchists or something like that. There's just something really agitating, and I battled this since the very first Bitcoiner that I met. I wanted to be a miner. When I kind of saw the spectrum of the holders and the traders, my immediate response was that, hell, get me involved in the mining. That I can really. Those are the people that I went to know about and talk with, and I was very much told, oh no, Beauty, you do not. Everybody's heard this story before, but oh no, you don't want to be a miner. Oh my gosh. So I got a trader. So, oh, I know. Well, when the light bulb comes out, I am going to really. When, I'm promised the light bulb miner, and we know that, there's a few things that are being done with the satellite miner. So, I still have my, what do they say? The wet finger in the light socket. So, but in the story of, the different sorts of personalities that are in cryptocurrency, not that it's any different than any other business or culture, But man, it's like, dude, it's so difficult. I can remember meeting Bitcoiners who said, your money, and we're talking about fiat wealth, your money is so filthy and dirty, we don't want to have anything to do with you. You're old, you know, um, you talk down to people. We don't need your kind. We don't need your fiat nonsense. And, you know, in the day, of course, I tried to stand up and share more about, my story was not out of choice. And I could, I could serve the rest of my life giving and giving and giving, which is my choice to do. But what I am and what I was born into was not my choice. And there are a few stories out there where people have literally given away everything that they have. And I have served many a meals with my checkbook over the years. And I can tell you that none of that works. Getting rid of it too fast, too wrongly, um, is incorrect. And so now we're here, you know? I mean, I was being told this when Bitcoin was $12.50 by people that claim that they'd had it since it was a dollar, but they still, they were still calling me a filth, like that my money was filth, right? They didn't need, they didn't want me, in it, needed to get in it, to get in it in a different way. So I just think that the Bitcoin Secret Santa, I do think that there's a lot to it, that then we can start to do more curative and opportunities, cure these relationships. There's been enough curation, right? And there's been enough culling, pruning of people in this space. And now we see it among CORE and other projects and how they're out there. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get through the holiday. And so that's why I was like, well, I'm not going to do it their way. Not this December. I'm not going to do it their way because it is quite possible that this is the last of the old era. Because I will tell you, just like a lot of people probably about, that when Wall Street comes knocking, when people like me are able to get into the system, it is a different Bitcoin. And so putting anybody down as you look back, being a troll on anybody as you look back, I think you'll really see how unwise that was. And it has nothing to do with your age. It has to do with your experience of being just a piece of, bad news on the internet. But when the traders come in, we're talking about tenured, tenured, not 10-year, tenured. When the tenured trader comes in to this space, those people that I've been spending many, many, way too many years and now, hours, years, months, days, everything with. It's going to be a different sort of a situation. So I think that, it's time to use our power for, the crossroads, that who really will be there. I'm here. This whole idea of the Tower of Babel and ramble and nobody understands me and, my 8-ball tarot card charts. And I mean, it goes on and on and on. I'm still here. I'm still here and they're still here. And as soon as these other strangers, which will be strangers to them, not strangers to me, but strangers to them, and when they come into this space, it's going to be a different place. And you're not going to be able to go underground. You have to you have to figure out a way that you're going to do it where you're still going to be a good person. So I'm thinking, you know what? We have 1 month. We have the month of December 2017. And I think that just it's a good idea to try and do something that's worthwhile, not just for ourselves, but for each other and maybe even some of the unknowns, right? So I might even reach out to Pink Coin and see, who's on deck, who needs help, and see where we might be able to go with it if no one comes forward, kind of through, my community. So we will see how that all works out. I'll just keep the open mic going. So remember, the Google Hangout link is out there. And we don't have any Chewbacca's. I'm very surprised at that. In the day, oh my gosh, I would put that link out and the Chewbacca would come like right away, like on fire right away. The trade is at $10,021.99. We're now up on the session, which is good. We are just at the $10,000 mark, which is on my Ruby, and should be on everybody's charts. And let's see how the tweet looks. And there it is right there. Open mic, Bitcoin Secret Santa. Panel is open to the public. Be nice. There's the Hangout link. And then there's the My Bitcoin Secret Santa. Let me see how many people have seen this now. 63 people saw their reply. Actually, that was sent out from YouTube, wasn't it? And then I sent it to the reply, and that got 67 impressions. And then the original one got, how many did this one get? Got 141 impressions, the very first one. So we have the impressions. I'm not going to be dissuaded. Interesting. I don't know. How long do you think I should stay on, really? Because for me, it's pretty early. I mean, I can stay on for, I mean, hmm. Okay, so they give you the vanity. We have an after dinner chat. She has 37 people watching. We have one of those drama channels. They have 261 people watching. And none of the Bitcoiners are live. Check out Bitcoin. See where we're at. I think I'm just going to kind of let it run. We have the Bittrex guy who's live. And we're in there we are right there. Open mic. Bitcoin Secret Santa. I wonder when the new goes away. says new. You know what I could do, really? I just realized it. Let me ask you about this. In the title, do you know that you could put XYZ watching? Now, how could I do it where it wasn't like so blatantly clickbait, but that was something like, I wish that, you know, 84 people were watching. Let me see. What would that look like? It would be open mic, right? Bitcoin Secret Santa and wish, okay, that works. Wish 87 watching. How about that? Maybe I should put my own wish out there. Open mic, Bitcoin Secret Santa, wish 87 watching. You think? I'm just trying to be clever. I don't know. Do you think I should edit the you can edit the title, right? I'm pretty sure you can't edit the description, but you can edit the title once you're live. I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to take this and see what happens. Wish 87 were watching. Okay, let me give it a try. Yeah, no harm, right? Okay, so we're going to edit. Edit. And we're going to edit this. Oops. Oh man, didn't take it. Took something else. Oh, rats. Oh, what did I do? Hold up. What's it called again? Open mic. And then Bitcoin Secret Santa. There we go. It's going to take a moment here, guys. And then wish 87 watching. Okay, we'll give that a try. And let me change these out. And we'll go to Bitcoin and Secret Santa. There we go, and save those changes. Okay, and view on the watch page. Come back to the watch page. Okay, there we go. Really? You can edit the title. Oh, and the description. Okay. Right. Right. I did get the beta for the new studio, so I don't know if maybe that makes it a little easier because when I just did the edit the video, it literally like it takes me over to the Creator Studio. So, right there we go. Open mic, Bitcoin Secret Santa, wish 87 watching. I don't know what's the rule. If you wish it, it can come true. So let's see what it looks like on YouTube now. If they took it, because remember they have to do their own thing. Open mic, Bitcoin Secret Santa, wish 87 watching. That's what it says. I'll take another copy if you hear the camera go off. And then let's go to Bitcoin. And then we'll go to filter. Go to live and then see where we're at on there. Open mic, Bitcoin Secret Santa, wish 87 watching. That's, oh my God, that's kind of mean. I don't know. Did I do the right thing? I know what you're saying. It's like Alfredo today. Like I've never had more, like I've never had any other YouTube account except for the one that I have, and then Alfredo's, like, pulling out, "Oh, and he's got this one, and he's got that one," and oh my god, because it reminded me of, what you shared with me. It's like, "Okay, I got accounts. You want an account? I got an account, here you go." I've only ever had the one. So, anyway, pretty funny. Very, very funny. Alright, we'll see what that looks like. Open mic Bitcoin Secret Santa, wish 87. Wish 87 watching. Okay, let's send out the Hangout link again. We're going to keep fishing the link. For anyone that's on the outside and maybe you're not counted quite yet, this is the panel link. And, you're a nice person, grab the link. And come on in and say hello. Definitely do that. All right. Oh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, Wish 87 is here. Wish 87 is watching. Thank you. How cute. What kind of an avatar is that? You're always coming up with the funniest things. So cute. Why? Oh, I see. Oh, now I'm viable, right? I have a viable excuse because Wish 87 is watching. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it always feels good, right? To figure it out. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Very, very funny. Cute. So welcome Wish 87 to the broadcast, to YouTube, to the open mic Bitcoin Secret Santa. Kind of having a think tank tonight about how this could work, why it should work, who should make it work, and all of those kinds of things. And then we figured out, you know what? We need to YouTube's gonna pay attention. Because I was like looking at that, I was like, wait a minute here. One of the problems is that no one wants to come in when there's two people. But if 87, and that's one thing, but I don't want to be like say that 87 are watching, but I can wish that 87 were watching. And as it would turn out, look at that. My wish came true. Boom shakalaka, just like that. Snap a doodle. Snap your fingers, and there you go. And it's done just like that. How fun is that? Can you imagine if you came here and spoke to Beauty Bubble and you said, this is my wish? And, this is something that I need in my life, or I know someone that needs this in their life. And, and you just put it on the altar of Bitcoin, and let's see what we can do about it. Let's see how close we can get to bringing, your wishes to truth. How cool would that be? And so, because it wasn't really in the grand scheme, it wasn't really that long ago when we were wishing for 10,000, and it seemed, you know, sure, right, dude, oh, sure, right, and a lot of us were doing charts that showed these price levels. I did a prediction last year that I think we were at 700. That took us to 24, and the the challenge was where would we be, and I gave a specific date and where and when that would happen. And so all those kinds of projections are really, really cool to do. And it was always there, like, it's always there. It's right there. It's just a matter of when and how and who. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, is facilitating, your dreams coming true. I love giving people what it is that they ask for. I love doing that. But there's a little bit of snark about that. It's like I love giving people what they ask for, because you start stripping out, especially if it's about another person. But you strip away that. It's amazing what karma does. It really is. It is amazing. So we just don't know. And thank you for the thumbs up. I guess Wish 87 is just on it tonight. Putting in the numbers. Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, so we know that the Hangout link is out there. And I'm pretty sure that when we close things up, that we'll see that some people have come through. We've been streaming for 56 minutes. I'm not really too sure exactly what I should do right now. Yeah, let me run back over to the Twitter. Just don't know what else I could do in the Twitter. Not really too sure. What can I do to the Twitter? I'm thinking. Yeah, see the little daily things that I do, they're inching up actually. I think people are finding their way to the titles. And of course it's always better, when Price is doing that tick by tick and you can follow Price along. And let's see here. Let's see if we've moved up 1 little inch by putting that in there. Just trying to figure out, what does YouTube? There are 105 live Bitcoin events happening right now. And we are number 1, 2, 3, 4. We're the 5th one. Ah, really? We've actually come up a few. We've come up like 3 or 4. Isn't that interesting? But it might be because we're about to roll over for the hour. So they bump you up because your hour is about to roll over maybe. And then if you don't have the counts and you don't have the viewership, once it rolls over, they kind of, push you down maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I know. Me too. There are quite a few out there. Yes. They're fascinating. Yeah. They are out there. It's really cool. I don't want to find flaw in projections like that. I think they're great topics. And if it's there, it's a great topic to have. And I think that there's a lot of us that it's very ceremonious, but there's this undercurrent that we're not really so surprised. But of course it's ceremonial. Of course it's magical. It's important. Um, it's got everything. That the $10,000 candle will be, considered a prized piece of Bitcoin history. So I'm all there. I love it. So, and marking the time and the day, and that's one thing that you benefit that you get from watching the charts as much as I do is you get to see it actually happen and how it happened and the energy that it takes and who it takes, all that stuff. It's really, really neat. Very cool. All right. Anyway, so I think that that's what we'll do. We'll keep it under the hour because we have been streaming an hour just right now. As I always say, I do take the chat out. We lost the chat the last event because I had an issue with my browser window shifted and I couldn't get it back to where it belonged. So I had to close out my browser altogether, which took the chat with it. And because it had been put in the drop down, I put it down in the work bar, the task bar, and then when I closed everything down, I liked it. I lost it. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop the chat out now so I don't lose it. And put that down there. And we'll just go ahead and say our dues. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been Open Mic, the Bitcoin Secret Santa series. And that's just the first one that we've done. There's a couple of pieces of homework that we have, and that's to watch anything from Dan McComas. And if you have been part of the Secret Santa over at Reddit, if you have any history, if you have anything that you would have done differently, maybe even, please bring it to me. And we'll do these open mics often. If you see them out on Twitter, we are pushing out the panel link. That's the Google Hangout link. And we're not having any fear or judgment about you grabbing that link and coming on and sharing what it is that what your aspirations are for this holiday season and getting involved with the Bitcoin Secret Santa project. And let's see what we can do with it. And if we can do something with it that is as generous as the Reddit Secret Santa. Even if it was just one little smidgen that we got it, we figured it out and we do understand how to be good givers and how to receive gracefully and how to recognize when others are in need and be able to take action without any hesitation in our hearts and of course have the wealth of giving, the spirit of the wealth of giving, and know what that means. Okay, so that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Thanks to YouTube, right? And of course, all the replay viewers, thank you very much. You will stand up and be counted towards the 10,000 lifetime viewer challenge. I do appreciate that. If we see price at all modulate above, 10,200, and it looks as though we're going to be getting any kind of trajectory towards the $10,500 mark, I will certainly go back live with you guys tonight. So thank you so much. And to my good friends over in the chat, thanks everybody. Thanks really. And to Wish87, yes, Wish87 was watching Bitcoin Secret Santa tonight with Beauty Bubble. Thanks, guys. Bye.